Hello again, everybody. This is Harry Carey with another play-by-play description of the St. Louis Cardinals. It's a beautiful baseball day at Busch Stadium here in St. Louis with another fine crowd on hand as the ball game is just getting underway. Some of the late arrivals are still buying tickets, but already plenty of people are here enjoying baseball at its best in one of America's finest ballparks. And they're here to see the stars in action, and I do mean action. The daring base running, the fine fielding plays, the aggressive spirit that have become Cardinal trademarks. And that, fans, takes athletes in tip-top condition, from opening day through a long, hard, tough 154-game schedule. Come to think of it, how would you like to be with the Cardinals as they get ready for the season? All right, let's take a look at a typical spring training camp. Let's train with the Cardinals. Well, here we are at Al Lang Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. Manager Eddie Stanky's on the scene early. Ambitious young ball players begin arriving at the park, hopeful they'll be among the 25 who'll make the team. Each man weighs twice daily. An eagle eye is kept on the weight chart because a ball player's performance depends on his best weight. At the early morning meetings of Manager Stanky and his coaches, the day's activities are planned. Soon it's time for the daily clubhouse meeting where the whole squad learns about the plans for the day. The manager announces what combinations are to work infield drills, batting practice pitchers, lineups for the squad or exhibition games. And usually he has a few other things to say, too. Perhaps a few choice words about hustle or an explanation of a certain play. And then it's on the double to the playing field and a brisk turn around the ballpark. Now what happens? Choose up sides for a game? Oh, no. Not for a long while. You must take plenty of time to limber up those muscles gradually, to just toss that ball around. It's a long throw from short or third to first base, and infielders who must make the throw begin to widen the range in their limbering up tosses. The pitchers limber up, too, taking it easy by just lobbing the ball back and forth. Back and forth. This is a far cry from the way these pitchers bear down in a regular game. Jerry Staley. Joe Fresco. Harvey Haddix. Catchers at home plate and second base throw to each other to get the range and feel of this long throw. Next on the schedule are the pepper games, always a great favorite with the players who get a chance to move around, feel, throw, hit, and perhaps clown a little too. Pepper games are excellent conditioners. Bending, reaching, throwing, batting, all combined to sharpen up reflexes. Pepper helps batters regain their timing and helps fielders regain their coordination in fielding those tricky hops. Well, what's going on here? Ooh! If you've been thrilled at the way big leaguers slide, well, here's where they learn how. Players must slide on either the right or left sides, depending on where the throw's coming from. Runners fall away and hook the base with one foot, keeping their bodies as far as possible away from the fielder trying to tag them. When the coach tells a base runner back, a single lunge should get him back safely. Practice in this helps players learn how to take bigger but safer leads. Base runners are taught to be alert because a moving runner is always dangerous. It depends on the coach to watch the first baseman while he watches the pitcher. When and how to take a big lead, worry the pitcher, lunge back safely, always threatening to steal. Taking the maximum lead off second base increases the chance of scoring on a base hit. 2, it draws the infielder over to cover the bag creating a big hole for the batter to hit through. A runner caught flat off base is trained to make a slow out, giving other base runners a chance to advance. Catchers are shown how to give signals and protect their ungloved hands. Pitchers learn to cover first base on balls hit to the first or second baseman. They must be alert and fast to receive the throw and beat the runner. This play demands constant work to develop perfect timing and split-second coordination with the infielders. Practice and instruction in bunting is a vital part of spring training. Drag bunts or running bunts like these often enable a man to get on base safely. Sacrifice bunts advance another base runner to scoring position, and squeeze bunts can score that winning run. With the batter's cage in place, batting practice begins. The net in front of the mound protects the pitcher from low-line drives. Those not batting are in the field as shag balls. There's plenty of action because the coaches and their fungo bats also keep the air filled with batted baseballs, deliberately hit in all directions for our added practice. The shout goes out around the horn, and infield practice gets underway. Countless hours are spent at infield drill, and after a time, the players know just when and how to throw the ball so that their teammates will be there ready for the throw. And here, the all-important phase of teamwork begins to be felt. Watching all this activity are St. Petersburg's famous Al Lang, Florida's ambassador to baseball, and Cardinal President August A. Bush, Jr., who were treated to the first actual competitive baseball of the spring. The squad of some 50 men is divided into two parts for inter-squad games. These are usually free-hitting affairs, as the pitchers aren't bearing down yet. They give the manager and the staff an excellent chance to see all players in action. Pitchers are changed frequently in squad games because they aren't ready yet to go more than a few innings. To keep their arms warm and limber at this early stage, pitchers pitch for both sides during their brief turn on the mound. The squad games provide excellent training in the actual business of playing a ball game before going into the scheduled exhibition games with other major league teams. A regular routine for all new Cardinals soon after reporting is a complete physical examination by the team physician, Dr. Middleman. Star hurler Vic Rashi is no exception. All players are given medical checkups periodically to maintain their peak condition. Bruises and strained muscles must be properly diagnosed and treated. Dr. Middleman and trainer Bob Bowman are in constant attendance. So with a friendly pat, he's sent to the busy whirlpool bath. The Cardinals haven't discovered any more than anybody else how to cure the common cold or prevent the flu, but experience has shown that flu shots minimize players' chances of getting sick during the season. Trainer Doc Weaver takes Stan Musial in stride. Maybe this shot contains some extra base hits. This is what all athletes look forward to at the end of the day. Whether the players be big stars or young rookies, it's great to be a Cardinal. To these youngsters, all Cardinals are heroes, and an autograph is a treasure. The workday is over, but to players like Al Brazel and Del Rice, relaxation means more exercise. Some Cardinals are excellent golfers and play while they can. Once the exhibition games start, there's usually too little time. This peaceful gentleman is perhaps the most feared man in baseball, Stan the Man Musial, one of the greatest hitters of all time. Stan's son, as well as his wife and daughters, frequently find out more about Dad's latest feats from the sports pages than they do from modest Stan himself. Another real Cardinal family man is star second baseman Red Shandies. Red and his wife Mary don't have any future ball players in the family yet, but they do have two mighty attractive daughters. Unmarried players and married ones whose wives are not with them live at the hotel, where a favorite pastime is just plain relaxing and talking. Then after dinner, maybe a friendly game of pinochle or hearts in the lobby. Rip Rapolsky and Dick Schofield bone up on baseball's Bible, the sporting news, before turning in. Delicious orange juice starts the morning, and another workday begins with a breakfast conference which includes manager, coaches, and several scouts. Long before the regular morning schedule, Manager Stanky's out on the field to give special instructions to players ordered to report early. Butch Yackerman breaks out the good-looking white uniforms because today the exhibition games begin. Now each player has 4 uniforms, 2 grays for the road and 2 whites for home games. He also has 4 or 5 sweatshirts, some lightweight for hot days and some heavy with turtlenecks for chilly days or nights. Each man also has a regular jacket as well as a rubber sweatshirt. Ball players wear 2 pairs of socks. Baseball socks in Cardinal colors with instep straps, and under them regular white cotton sweat socks. This plastic helmet worn beneath a regular cap is a must at the plate for protection. Each player has 3 or 4 pair of spiked baseball shoes. Meanwhile, back at the hotel, the players are beginning to come downstairs for orange juice and breakfast. To a ball player, breakfast is a mighty important meal because he won't eat again until after the game that afternoon. Early field instructions are over, and Stanky confers with General Manager Dick Meyer on the important business matters of the day. With the special early morning session completed, manager and player discuss his individual progress. Preparations for the first exhibition game are underway, and batting eyes are sharpened. And batting practice pitchers get ready for the firing line. Holy cow, here's a fellow who really feels at home with a bat in his hands. Let's take a good look at Stan Musial. As seen in slow motion, it looks easy. But this tremendous skill is the combination of a keen eye, split-second timing and coordination, powerful wrist and forearms, plus superb conditioning. Another pretty fair country hitter is Red Shandies, Cardinal captain. Although now seen batting left-handed, Red is a switch hitter with good power either way. He, too, can make a pitcher's life mighty miserable. And speaking of pitchers, here's one who never gets a sore arm. Iron Mike, who just keeps pitching and pitching and pitching. Ray Jablonski, Jabo, another highly respected hitter, is up for his turn. Joe Mathis, head of the extensive Cardinal farm system, confers with Eddie about the progress of rookies up for a trial. Believe you me, spring training camp is no place for a guy who's half asleep in the outfield because whistling line drives are heading his way constantly. Plenty of this, too. Great for the wind and legs. The familiar scent of baseball is in the air, and crowds from all over the United States and Canada come to join in the excitement of seeing a Cardinal ball game. Some frontline Cardinal hurlers are warming up, so let's take a look at them. One pitcher on the Cardinal staff is Tom Paholski. Another outstanding star is Harvey the Kitten Haddix, who has a blazing fastball and remarkable control. Wow, how about that? A real mainstay on the Cardinal staff is Jerry Staley, who has a very effective knuckleball and a good screwball. Think you could hit this one? Baseballs don't curve, huh? Not all big league pitchers are big guys. Stu Miller only weighs 160 pounds soaking wet, but he's one of the trickiest pitchers in the business because his change of pace keeps enemy batters off balance almost all the time. Starting lineups are handed to the umpires, and the game's about to begin with the familiar cry, "Play ball!" Al Lang Field is packed as the Cardinals play host to their St. Petersburg training neighbors, the New York Yankees, in the traditional opener of the Grapefruit League season. Here's the pitch, and a strike is called. Here's the delivery. Swung on and fouled off. There's the pitch. He struck him out. In the exhibition games, each pitcher works only about 3 innings. Lineups are sprinkled with rookies. And as in the squad games, there are frequent substitutions to give young players a chance to show their ability in more serious competition. As the Cardinals come to bat, the long hours in the batting cage begin to pay off. Base hits are sweet music to veterans and rookies alike. Stan the man, in typical Musial style, boom, takes good advantage of the situation by pounding out a double, driving in 2 runs. Cardinal activities of national interest, and there are plenty of newspaper men on hand. Up next is Wally Moore. Look out! Here's the pitch, and there it goes, way back there, deep, deep, way back there, all the way to the wall. Moon around first, on his way to second. Norrin retrieving the ball in deep center. Moon's on his way to third, and he's in there standing up with a triple. Now, another day. There's an away game. But it's so close, players dress at Lang Field and board the bus in uniform for the trip. Away exhibition games are played in Florida with such teams as the Chicago White Sox at Tampa, just across the bay. Here, the Cardinals pay a visit to their traditional rivals, the Brooklyn Dodgers, at Vero Beach. Pitcher Joe Presco warms up in Clearwater for a mound assignment against the Philadelphia Phillies. Back at St. Pete, the Cardinals play a return engagement with the Phillies. Pitcher Harvey Haddix is on the mound and begins to show a flash of mid-season form, as do the outfielders. You know, during spring training, the Cardinals play more than 30 exhibition games with big league clubs, including such other teams as the Detroit Tigers, Washington Senators, Cincinnati Redlegs, Boston Red Sox, and the Milwaukee Braves. Still other teams are occasionally scheduled. Fans are always in for a treat when two clubs like the Cardinals and Phillies meet, and today they're in for a real slugging demonstration as Red Shandies pokes a tremendous three-base hit into right center field. Stan Musial, shown in slow motion, hits another triple to deep left center to drive in Shandies. Musial's not only a great hitter, but also one of the Cardinals' fastest runners, and Stan is safe at third before the fleet Richie Ashburn can fire the ball back in. Later, all eyes are on Stan as he bats again. He swings. It might be. It could be. It is a home run. Let's take Stan back and see that home run again, this time in slow motion. In this shot of Stan hitting his homer and rounding the bases, it's easy to see the gracefulness and the coordination of a truly great athlete, one whose name will be remembered as long as the game of baseball is played. Experts agree that Musial will rank high among the game's all-time greats. His record-breaking achievements are so numerous, they're almost confusing. Except for war service years, every season since he's been in the major leagues, he's been at or near the top in nearly every department. Batting average, runs batted in, runs scored, total hits, doubles, triples, home runs, slugging percentage, on and on and on. And with it all, Musial has been an outstanding example of good sportsmanship, gentlemanly conduct, inspired leadership and popularity among fans and players alike. Stars like Stan Musial make the Cardinals great and make baseball the tremendously appealing sport that it is. Every day, there's a different brand of excitement around the Cardinal camp, and today it's a Hollywood movie crew filming sequences for the Paramount Pictures Strategic Air Command. Star of the picture is Jimmy Stewart, who plays the part of a Cardinal third baseman who's also an Air Force Reserve officer. His co-star is attractive June Allison. Between takes, she exchanges movie-making and baseball notes with Cardinal manager Eddie Stanky. One of the highlights of Strategic Air Command is a huge B-36 bomber buzzing Al Lang Field. The Brooklyn Dodgers in our own backyard, and Jackie Robinson leading off. That takes care of that. Alertness and training pay off in heads-up baseball as the side is retired. Now it's time for the Cardinals to test their batting skill. Here's one way. In games and out of games, training and instruction never stop. Wally Moon's the hitter. The ball's hit hard to the shortstop. Here's the throw. Whoop, it's high and gets away from the first baseman, and Wally is safe at first. Here's the pitch to Musial. He swings, and there's a hit like a bullet into right field for a single. Jablonski up. He swings. There it goes. It might be. It could be. It is a home run. Later in the game, Tom Olson flies to center field. Jabbo tags up, tries to score after the catch, and then the rhubarb begins. It's the top of the ninth now. The Dodgers have 2 out. Here's the pitch. A fly ball out to left field. Joe Frazier under it. He's got it. It ends the game, and the Cardinals win. The fans stream out of the park, but there's still work for Traveling Secretary Leo Ward, who discusses team travel plans with manager Stanky because a big trip is in the offing. It begins with a quick bus trip to the airport, where a chartered plane waits to take the team to California. Baseball gear is loaded aboard, and then the high-flying Redbirds themselves board the huge Constellation. From Florida to California, it's just a matter of hours, thanks to high-speed air travel and just 1 day's layoff from baseball activity. Next day, the Cardinals arrive at Wrigley Field, where they have 2 exhibition games scheduled with the Chicago Cubs. When many Midwestern baseball fans think of Wrigley Field, they think of the Cubs Park in Chicago. But there's also a beautiful Wrigley Field right here in Los Angeles. Before the game starts, the rival managers wish each other luck. East Coast or West Coast, the game's still the thing as the Cardinals swing into action. Red Shandy singles, driving in Del Rice with a run. And so it goes as the Cardinals play and work themselves into shape. You know, it's taken weeks of practice, training, and instruction. But as we come back to the Cardinals here at Busch Stadium, the fine conditioning the Cardinals receive in spring training can be seen. And fans, as you watch baseball, you can see why it's so typically American. Baseball represents just about everything that's good about America. The hard-fought, fair competition, good sportsmanship, clean living, hard work, honest pleasure, and the equality of opportunity for all. The Cardinals are proud to be a part of the great American baseball tradition, a tradition that serves as a constant inspiration to both young and old throughout this great land of ours.
Double play. We needed that.
Yeah, lucky thing, too.
He hadn't got a ball by him all night. I sure hope he tightens up some. Now, between these injuries and the doubleheader tomorrow, we are short on relievers. How about that new kid, Tommy Richards? Everybody seems pretty high on him. Oh, he can throw, but he's a new grounder, Hank. He's never faced one of these big leaguers in his life. You think he's got it? Yeah, I think maybe he has. Of course, we'll never know until he's out there trying. Yeah, there's always got to be a first time. Go talk to him, Hank. Look him over. See if he's got it in here. See if he wants his team to win as bad as he wants to pitch. Maybe take him down to the bullpen and let him throw a couple. Skip will want to use him as soon as he's ready. Check. Well, no hits, no errors. Hey, that double play was a break the way they've been teeing off on us. Keep up the good work, Jake. How's it going, Tom?
Think you'll last out there, Hank?
No, too early to tell. It's only the second inning. Good pitcher gets better when the pressure's on. He begins to smell the victory.
Yeah, I guess you're right, Hank. Like in a World Series game. Pressure's really on. That's when you see if they've really got it.
Yeah, that's the idea, kid. Remember Harry Brackeen in '46? He won 3 World Series games. Oh, his second win was really something. It was the 6th game. Boston expected to wrap up the series that day.
Yeah, but the cat held him. He got into one real jam, and the Red Sox were about to tie it up. But old Harry really bore down on him. Blew that ball past Culberson, the same for Pesky. 2 strikeouts in a row.
Well, now, don't ever get the idea. A pitcher wins ball games all by himself, boy. Now, Brackeen had a ball club behind him. Guys like Harry Walker in the outfield. You don't have to be afraid to let him hit the ball. You've got a team out there just waiting for it.
I know, Hank. But remember what happened to Murray Dixon in the last game of that series?
Little Murray Dixon has pitched a beautiful game up to now. He allowed only 3 hits and 1 base on balls. Up till the 8th here, where the Boston Red Sox have taken over and came up with a single and a double. Now with runners on 2nd and 3rd and nobody out, manager Eddie Dyer is taking Dixon out and sending in Harry Brackeen. After pitching 9 tough innings yesterday, the cat comes in to face Wally Moses, who represents the winning run. 2 strikes on Moses. Brackeen winds, the pitch. Strike 3 called. He struck him out. Now it's Pesky, the hitter. It's a low line drive to right field. Slaughter comes in fast. He has it for out number 2. And now as we go into the last half of the 8th, the ball game's all tied up at 3-3. Bob Klinger to come in to pitch for Boston. Enos Slaughter to lead off for the Cardinals. The pitch swung on, and Slaughter safe at first with what could be the winning run. Kurowski punts. It's a pop-up. Klinger racing over. He takes it for the first out. 2 out now with Slaughter on first. He might go. Harry Walker, the hitter. The pitch. There goes Slaughter. Walker singles to center. Culberson up with the ball. Slaughter's taken for 3rd. Here's the throw to relay man, Pesky. Slaughter. Slaughter isn't stopping. He's coming home. Pesky gets around for a throw to the plate. Too late. Slaughter slides in with a winning run all the way from first on a single by Harry Walker.
That was the ball game and the series.
Well, you wouldn't think that play of Slaughter's was possible, would you?
Pesky sure didn't think so. Anybody knows you can't score from first on a single unless you play ball like the Cardinals do.
That's kind of a tradition with the Cardinals, isn't it? Taking chances?
Yeah, doing what's not expected. Gas house stuff, taking chances, winning ball games. Hey, kid, there's a guy you want to watch. The only safe way to pitch to him is low and behind him.
Gun. Boy, just like that, we're 1 run behind.
Makes no difference who's pitching, kid. Ball game's never safe as long as there's a man at plate with a bat in his hand. I remember it was 1944 when we were playing the World Series with the Browns. We wondered if we'd get hits off guys like Gale House, Sid Jakuki.
Here's the pitch from Jakuki. Swung on and missed. Strike two for Danny Litweiler. Jakuki winds, throws, strike three. Looks like the Cards are having trouble with this guy. Here's Johnny Hopp. He slaps the liner to second. Gutteridge boots it. It's getting away from him, and Hopp is safe at first. Now it's Stan Musial at the plate. This man's coiled, crouching stance is something to see. He hit .347 this season, and from all appearances during his first 3 seasons with the Cardinals, he could be one of baseball's all-time great hitters. Here's the pitch. A long, long drive into right center. Into the stands, a home run. Cardinals 2, Browns nothing.
Yep, even when you shut him out, you need somebody like Stan the man to bring in some runs. Somebody the other pitchers can't get up.
You just let the batters worry about that part, boy, and you concentrate on pitching. That's enough for one guy to do, even when you're hot, like Mort Cooper was in that '44 series. He struck out 12 men in that 5th game. Only 2 pitchers ever did better than that in the World Series. But when he walked George McQuinn in that 6th inning to load the bases with 1 out, we only had a 1-run lead. Mort really had his hands full. But he got Cyril on a called 3rd strike. And Chrisman went down too, taking the Brownie rally right along with him. Things get pretty rough on a pitcher in a spot like that.
Yeah, I guess. I'd be darned if I could see how it gets any worse than sitting in the dugout, watching everybody else play the ball games. I'm beginning to think I ought to be paying to get in the park.
They're tied up. Now.
Boy, I used to get a kick out of watching the Cardinals play when I was sitting up in the stands. I'm watching them from here. But when I can't even go out there and help in the tight spots, I'm telling you, Hank, it's driving me nuts.
Yeah, waiting around can be pretty tough for a kid.
All right, so I'm an eager beaver. Boy, Hank, with that player limit deadline coming up, well, if I don't get out there and show what I can do, how am I going to keep the uniform?
Yeah, I mustn't rush things.
Oh, what do you mean, rush things? Boy, just because this is my first year in the big leagues doesn't mean I can't win ball games. You remember Johnny Beasley in '42? It was his first year in the majors, too.
Yeah, that was the year we took the World Series from the Yankees. 4 out of 5.
I was a little before my time, but didn't he win 2 games in that series?
Yeah. Second game. Southworth put him in for the last one, too.
Now the pressure's really on the Cardinals' first season wonder boy, Johnny Beasley. He's held the Bombers to only 2 runs up to this 5th inning. But now the bases are loaded, and Joe DiMaggio's up at the plate. Beasley winds, the pitch, swung on, a ground ball down the 3rd base line. Korowski comes up with it, steps on 3rd, force play, retiring the side. Going into the last half of the 9th inning now, the Yanks are trailing 4-2. They haven't won a game since the first day of the series. And now it's their last chance to stay alive. Joe Gordon's the first man up in this inning. Beasley winds, here's the pitch, and Gordon singles the left, pulling up at first base. Next man up is Bill Dickey, the catcher. Here's the pitch. Dickey bounces one down toward second. Jimmy Brown's coming in. Looks like a double play. No, he fumbles it, and both players are safe. That was a tough break for the Cardinals. Joe McCarthy's going to make the most of it. He's sending in Stainback to run for Bill Dickey. Jerry Priddy's up next. 3rd baseman comes in just a little. They're expecting a bunt. Johnny Beasley looks down to get his sign from Walker Cooper. Joe Gordon leads off second. The pitch, a fastball high. Cooper fires to second. Gordon and Marion both dive for the bag. He's out. Joe Gordon's kicked off second base. Man, oh man, that was something to see. Gordon was trying to get a big lead, expecting a bunt, some 10 feet off the bag, and Marty Marion was at least that far away when Cooper threw to the empty bag. Marion got there to take the ball just in time, and umpire George Barr ruled him out. What a play, ladies and gentlemen. What a throw, and what a shortstop. 2 out now. Beasley pitches. It's a ground ball down to second. Brown comes up with it. He's out, and the Cardinals win, taking 4 games straight from the mighty Yankees to become the world champions of 1942.
Yeah, that was... Hey! Now we're going.
We're going great. They're playing, I'm sitting.
Ah, buck up, kid. Just be happy we need pitchers this year. 34 when the Dean brothers won 49 games between them. The pitching staff had nothing to do but play in the bullpen.
34, wasn't that the World Series against the Detroit Tigers?
Yeah. Yeah, you should have seen those teams. Dizzy said that if Frankie Frisch would just give him and Paul the ball, they'd take care of those Tigers. And you know, they did. Paul won 2, and Dizzy won the other 2. The last one, 11-0. Old Diz fogged that fastball of his past Mickey Cochran, Hank Greenberg, Billy Rogel, and all the rest. And he gave the pitchers and infielders as hard a time as he did the batters. Well, that gas house base running got him into trouble, though, when Frankie Frisch, he was playing manager then, sent Diz in as pinch runner for Virgil Davis. The Tigers shortstop, trying for a double play, made a quick throw and clouded Dizzy on the head with the ball. And darned if the ball wasn't harder. But not by much, though. Well, by the time they got him off the field, he was coming out of it. They took him to the hospital for x-rays. And as Dizzy always tells the story, headlines next day said, "X-rays of Dizzy's head show nothing." And that 7th game, Dizzy shut him out and the Cards went wild at the plate. In 1 inning, the 3rd I think it was, we scored 7 runs off 4 pitchers. In the 6th, Medwick hit a triple.
There's the pitch. Medwick swings. There goes the drive deep to right field. It's bouncing off to the screen out there. Medwick racing for second base. He's rounding second. He's going to try for 3. Here comes the throw. It's going to be close. Medwick slides. Safe. Oh, wait a minute. Marvin Owen claims that Medwick spiked him and the boys are into a fight. Here comes the players charging out from both teams. Looks like we have the makings of a good free-for-all here. And now the umpires are moving in, trying to get the boys quieted down.
Now as Medwick takes over in left field, the Detroit bleacherites are pelting him with vegetables. Boy, these fans are really boiling. Now Medwick is being called by Judge Landis. The commissioner is going to straighten things out. The conference is very brief. Frankie Frisch steps away, and he isn't looking very happy. Yes, Medwick has been told to leave the game so the Detroit fans will let the play continue. And Medwick's really sore. But even without Medwick, the Cardinals did okay. The final score, St. Louis 11, Detroit nothing. And the Cardinals win the World Series of 1934.
Looks like we're doing okay, too. 3-1 lead. Boy, I hit them pretty hard. Only a 1-run lead now. Say, hey, do you think the skipper would give me a chance tonight? Oh, I'll bet I could get him out.
Pretty tough spot to break in, kid. Taking a big chance in such a close game.
Yeah, yes. Well, you said it yourself, Hank. The Cardinals take chances, do what they don't expect. Well, what they don't expect tonight is me.
Now, take it easy. Don't get all worked up, kid. Why don't you go out the bullpen, limber up, just in case, you know.
Well, Hank, I want you to see me buzz at you. Come on, Hank.
Hey, take it easy, kid. Take it easy. You're in no hurry. No guarantee they're even going to use you. You'd want to get all tensed up just because you might get a big break. You want to pitch your natural game. That's your best game when things get toughest. I wish you could have seen old Pete Alexander. You know, Grover Cleveland Alexander. There's a guy that stayed calm and relaxed in one of the toughest spots in all baseball history. The Cards were really in the limelight in 1926. St. Louis darn near went crazy. That was the first time the Redbirds had ever played in a World Series, you know. And after that second game in New York, when Alexander polished off the Yankees 6-2, well, when they got off the train here in St. Louis for the third game, the lid really blew off. You never saw so many baseball fans in all your life. There wasn't room for all of them to even stand on the street when the team drove by. So they stood 3 deep in office windows, any place to get a look at the heroes. And boy, they played like heroes. Big Jess Haines spanned Koenig, Lazzari, and Combs, and didn't give the Yankees a single run, but he drove in two himself. I think it was in the 4th inning he whacked a home run with Thebnow on base, which would have won the game all by itself. Only the Cards scored a couple more insurance runs and won it 4-0. Alexander helped win his own ball games, too. Pitching, hitting, and running bases in that heavy sweater he always wore. Man, oh man, that 7th game. I wasn't in the big leagues then. So when the Cards weren't playing in St. Louis, I hung around the store where there was a radio out in front. That was the first World Series broadcast on a national network, you know. And I didn't miss a single play.
We have the starting pitchers for the 7th game, the game that will decide the series and give the World's Championship either to St. Louis or New York. For the Yankees, Waite Hoyt, and for the Cardinals, Jess Haines. Haines, you will remember, won the 3rd game for the Cardinals. And now that Alexander has won 2 games for the Cards in this series, Haines will try for his 2nd. It's the last half of the 3rd now, and the great Babe Ruth is at the plate facing Haines. The pitch. Ruth fouls a towering fly ball. It's going. Yes, it's a home run. And the Bambino trots around the bases, making the score 1-0 in favor of the New York Yankees. Now there's one out in the 1st of the 4th with Sonny Jim Bottomley out. It's a base hit. Bottomley holds up at first. Les Bell swings. Shortstop Koenig bobbles it, and Bell's safe at first. And Haiti singles to left, loading the bases and bringing up the catcher, Bob O'Farrell. The Cardinals are trailing by a run. The bases are loaded. A base hit now could put them ahead. Even a long fly could tie it up. The pitch. O'Farrell swings. A long high fly into left. Bottomley should be able to score after the catch. Husell drops it. He lost it in the sun. Bottomley scores. The ball game tied up 1-1. There's Hoyt's pitch to Tommy Thebnow, and it's a clean single for the Cardinal shortstop. Here comes Bell across the plate. Chick Capey scoring too, and the Cardinals are out in front 3-1. And now it's Jess Haines coming to the plate. Listen to that crowd. To the thousands of St. Louis fans in New York today, he's a great hero. And even the Yankee fans have to admit he's pitching a terrific game as
tell you, we were so excited there around the radio we could hardly stand still. But all the time, old Alexander was sitting out in the bullpen under the bleachers in Yankee Stadium, calmly watching a couple of pitchers warm up. But even when the Yankees scored another run in the sixth, nobody was worried. Everybody felt sure Haynes could hang on to a one-run lead. But then in the seventh, something went wrong.
Looks like something's wrong with Jess Haynes. He's getting wild. There's ball four to Lou Gehrig, moving Musel to second, leaving Combs on third. The bases are loaded as push-em-up Tony Lazzeri comes to the plate. Hornsby's going over to talk to Haynes. This Lazzeri is a dangerous hitter. They're looking at Haynes' fingers. He may have a blister. He's been pumping hard all day. Hornsby's calling for another pitcher. It'll probably be Shadell or... No, Alexander's coming in. Listen to that crowd. Alexander pitched only yesterday, and he wasn't even warming up out there. There he is, talking to Hornsby and pitcher Bobby Farrell. I wonder if a pitcher ever walked into a tighter situation. Bases loaded, one of the league's leading hitters at the plate, and a World Series at stake. What a moment this is. This crowd's going wild. Alexander's taking warm-up. He looks relaxed and easy. As a matter of fact, he looks like he's the calmest man in Yankee Stadium. Now Lazzeri is stepping into the batter's box, waving that big bat. Alexander winds. Curveball, strike one. Lazzeri had a home run cut on that one. O'Farrell's out talking to Alexander. One pitch could mean the ball game here. Now he goes back to the plate. Alexander's ready. Holmes takes the lead off third base. The pitch. It's a long fly ball into left field. It could be. It's foul. That ball went into the stands just barely to the left of the foul line marker, making it strike two on Tony Lazzeri and leaving no doubt where he wants to hit that ball. Alexander gets a new ball from the plate umpire, Bill Deneen. He takes his sign. The pitch. Strike three. Lazzeri goes down swinging in a curveball, retiring the side. Ladies and gentlemen, you should hear this crowd and see the Cardinals gather around Grover Cleveland Alexander. Yesterday, the oldest pitcher ever to pitch a complete World Series game. Today, the hero of heroes, the Cardinal of Cardinals.
That wasn't the end of the game, was it?
Practically. The next six Yankees never got the ball out of the infield. Alexander wasn't just a Cardinal. He was a Cardinal tradition. That's what you want to be, kid. Not just a Cardinal pitcher, a Cardinal tradition. Oh, don't look so good. Come on, put something on it. You never tell what's going to happen.
Richard! Hey, Richard! Get out here! You're in the game!
Your attention, please. Coming into pitch for the Cardinals, number 51, Richards. Tommy Richards.
And so it's the first chance for this young fellow. It's always been his ambition to be a Cardinal, and with his very promising background, he is now in the major leagues. For him, the biggest moment of his life, the Cardinals lead 4-3. There's one out, and the responsibility for hanging on to that lead rests squarely on the shoulders of Tommy Richards. You know, a youngster like that gets an awful lot of help from the veterans on the ball club. When you get down to it, he's the one who has to throw the ball. He's the one who has to get them out. Can he do it? It's a tough spot for a new kid. But who's going to say he can't make it? The Cardinal tradition. It's been made in situations just like this.
Millions of fans see Major League Baseball games every year. Millions more hear and see them on radio and television. The league games are the real payoff. But behind each of these games are years and years of ambition, effort, and preparation by players, coaches, and managers. It takes years of hard work to get to the majors, and only 1 in millions gets there. And in the majors, it takes more hard work to stay there. In spring training every year, players, coaches, managers get ready. Get ready for the 154 games of the regular season. This film is about spring training. This is really the game nobody sees. And now, here's Joe Garagiola.
Hi, everybody. This is Joe Garagiola, and as Bing Devine, the general manager of the Cardinals, said, this is spring training where the Major League season actually begins. Everything is well organized. The players come out of the clubhouse after a clubhouse meeting held by the managers and the coaches. And here comes Coach Johnny Keane, and in just a minute you'll see Sally Hemus, manager of the Cardinals, as they come out, and everybody knows what to do. The fellas make that left turn as they circle the field, and here is Manager Hemus going over with his coaches as to what they're going to do in today's workout. Everybody has to know what to do. You can see the catchers have to lug their own equipment. There goes one of the coaches, Howard Paulette, a pitching coach, and pretty soon he'll amble down to the bullpen. You saw Manager Hemus talking to Johnny Keane. Johnny, what are you going to be doing today in spring training?
Joe, we were on our way over to the home plate to start into a bunting session, the sacrifice bunt, the play that we think is most neglected, certainly as far as the pitching is concerned. So we've had a long session here. We do it every day in spring training, show them how to bunt, the position of the bat, the way to face the pitcher, and you might see here where we're holding the bat, Joe. We're going to hold the bat at the letters, which will be the high point. A pitcher or any bunter should not bunt a ball that's thrown above that bat. He can go from the position of the bat at the letters on down, because a ball down is easier to bunt. The pitcher and the opposing club tries to pitch the fastball high so that the ball might be popped up. But in our case, we start at the letters, with the level of the bat at the letters, and bunt the ball from there down. Even a low-pitched ball, a ball that might be called a ball, is an easy pitch to bunt. Now, there's Hemus. Hemus has taken over at this point, and actually we'll bunt a few balls. We've had our whole staff out here, Joe, all of the pitchers, and we believe that this is most important. A pitcher in the late innings of a game that cannot bunt a man over just can't stay in his ball game. He has to come out, and somebody else goes in, bunts the ball or hits it for him, and they get credit for the victory, and he's lost 2 or 3 games through the season.
Everybody knows what to do. You saw some batting practice. Now you see the young catcher practicing how to catch the foul ball. This one is pretty far out, but you notice he's keeping his eyes on that ball, trying to run on his toes to keep his eyeballs from bouncing up and down to where he'll lose sight of that baseball. There goes one straight up. Watch how the mask is grabbed, it's held, and flipped in the opposite direction to avoid stepping on it. There it goes. Now, under the ball, constantly watching it, cradle the ball. That play is not an easy play to make. It's practiced very hard. You'll notice, here it goes. There's the wrong way to do it. Luckily, the ball is hit in front. But if it was one directly over the plate, you can see the danger of stepping on that mask. Constantly watching that ball. The head down to be sure to find the ball. Find the ball, and now chase it. Once that ball hits the bat, the first thing is to find it, hold the mask, flip it to the opposite direction, and then run on your toes and make the play. Spring training, where victories are really born. The manager with a constant eye, always watching his players, especially the young fella. And here is where he noticed something wrong, and there it is. He took his eye off the ball, lifted his head. Howard Paulette down the bullpen. Howard, I see you working with young Von McDaniel. What were you trying to accomplish with him?
Von obviously was having his troubles, Joe, and what we were trying to do was to correct his apparent pitching delivery. As you'll see in the film, he cocks his wrist and hand behind his head, which is an improper way of delivering the ball. And I was trying to show him the proper way that we want to teach our young pitchers to watch their target, rotate their hips, push off the mound, follow through, and deliver the ball. Vaughn had apparently lost the pitching groove that he had when he was such a star at his young age with the Cardinals.
Just the least little thing will throw you off, huh?
It doesn't take much. You get into a habit of doing something wrong, and if someone is not there to help you correct it, you continue the bad habit, and before you know it, you're not winning any ball games or no longer on the Major League Ball Club.
Here is Johnny Keane, who's going to show us how to make the double play. When you start asking questions about baseball, you certainly can't go too far wrong when you ask a fellow like Johnny Keane, who has really run the gamut as far as baseball is concerned. Johnny started as a baseball player, a coach, a minor league manager. He has sent many a young ball player to the major leagues. Here we see our Johnny Keane at third base line giving signs and signals. Among his many duties, signs, signals, making a double play. Johnny, in spring training, looks like you put in a good day's work right here. What are you trying to do, John?
Well, we do this all the time, Joe. Here I was showing the ball hit into the hole, the right of the shortstop, where you dig your right foot into the ground and make not any unnecessary steps. Dig in with the right and throw right from that position. That's the only way you're going to get the good, fast runner. We're showing here from the short throw, in close, get the ball out of the glove so that the second baseman can see the white of it, especially in night play. Don't hide the ball from him. Get it out of the glove as fast as you can. Let him get his eye focused on it, and then give it to him, and give it to him hard. Give it to him high. Give it to him at the letters if you can, because it's so difficult to handle a throwing ball that might be thrown low when you're coming across the bag so fast. There's the player will be throwing right from where he catches it. Right down low, he gives it up high. There's the second baseman coming up. The play is taken at the letters, and it's easy to pivot and throw to first. This is the short throw, the shove to the man. It's up high right into the glove. He tags, and it's easy to make the play to first there. What's difficult is when the ball is thrown low. The eyes then become blurred. You trip over the bag. You can't come up and make your play at all. And there's a circle up above. Anywhere in that circle, the ball can be given to your second baseman, especially up at his eyes. Let him see it up high. There's a low throw that's bad. The ball is fumbled. He can't follow his feet onto the bag. He trips over, and everybody is safe. Now, there we are showing where we're just putting the ball into his glove up high. The ball must be thrown high. There's no other way to do it. There's the perfect shot. Right there, he bounces off and makes his throw to first base. Never throw the ball low. There's the different pivots from the shortstop. The ball thrown from second to short. He touches with his right or left according to where the ball is thrown. There I'm going from my right foot into the left side and making the throw a sidearm.
Here's a pepper game among the ball players. Pepper is just a bunting game, and what they do, they kind of improvise a bit. Now, here's a case of where they flip the ball and it can't light in your glove, and the reason that this is done is for reflexes and to condition baseball muscles. As far as setting up exercise in some of the bodybuilding courses, they're not really working on the baseball muscles. But in a game like this, you use every muscle that will be used in an actual baseball game, and notice the reflexes when they go through a pepper game where they flip the ball from one another. You certainly have to keep your eye on the ball at all times. It's great for reflexes, and of course, it's an easy way to pass the time because you're enjoying what you do, and that's the key to success in any field. Harry Walker on how to play the outfield. I know many baseball fans will remember Harry best for his game-winning hit in that 1946 World Series. But you know what the ball players remember about him? As a real good outfielder, a great outfielder. And Harry was a good outfielder because he worked hard and did the little things that go for great outfield play. Harry has come up the ranks as a player, a big league manager, and now a coach. So when it comes to great outfield play, we think we've got a great one in Harry Walker. Harry, looks like you're charging a base hit where you got a chance to throw somebody out.
That's right, Joe. You're charging the ball hard and fast, and you've got to come up moving, but you cannot run with the ball. You've got to be in position like an infielder. That when you get the ball, you take what we call a little short crow hop right there. Now you'll come up, take the short hop, and then you're off driving into the throw. So that's what you're trying to do, is eliminate that extra step. There's the hop. Then you come right on through and throw. Then you drive into the ball.
The key word in there is to drive right into it.
That's right. The main thing is to charge fast. Here the ball is caught. There's the throw. The short hop, and then you drive on through to where your body comes in and gives you the extra drive that you have to make the long throw. Here we're trying to teach the boy to break and get over and get in position to get set to throw the ball. There it is, the short hop, Joe, and then he drives on through and makes his throw rather than take an extra step or two, because when you take one, the runner takes two or three. There you are. The short step and then you throw, Joe. You're just practicing, showing them how to get rid of the ball fast rather than take too much time. A lot of fellows will take two or three extra steps. There's the wrong play. See the Joe, how you turn and you're backhanging the play when you have to make your turn? Well, it's a habit. If a man can start off right to where he turns here, now if the play was made, he'd been right. Now when he has to turn, the ball is to the open hand, to where that he can maneuver himself and be in better position to field the ball. See, when you go back, you have to make that quick turn. Then the hand is out open rather than turning around, looking over your shoulder and backhanging the ball. That's by training to break the right way. You should try to center the ball as much as possible. Here you're trying to teach the fellow to block the ball when there's no play. There's no one running. The ball is hit. You charge fast. The secret of this is to charge fast the minute the ball is hit. Even though it's going to an infielder, soon the ball is going to go through. And then you're up close enough to block the ball. Even though it were to hit you, the guy could not take the extra base. Get down soon enough to keep the ball from going through your legs for the extra base. And in doing so, you have to get down on your knees in such a way that you have body control and you're not off balance. And also, you'll see in here that you have to be careful that you don't leave too big a hole when you get down with your body, that your leg is stuck out too much to where the ball is not blocked. The knee in the back there, you see, is out of the way to where the glove is free in case the ball takes a bad hop, which you always have to assume that is going to happen. Get down soon enough to move and watch the ball into the glove. As you'll see these younger fellows move here, a couple of times they get down just a little bit late to where the ball could have got through if they got a bad hop. There he's going down. If the ball come up, he did not have his body down soon enough to come up fast enough for the bad hop. There's no play, so what you do is to get in soon enough where you're down. Now here you're able to move the hand. Now, this way, if you come on this side, that right leg blocks you to where that you can't get over on that side. James got down a little late, as you see, Joe, and he wasn't down low enough. So we're trying to get them to where they get down soon enough where the ball does not get away from you, because there's nobody going to make a play here except to block it. See the leg, how wide it was, Joe? Now then, I'll bring that leg in to where that blocks that hole in case the ball was to take the hop. You let your body do as much of the blocking as possible in case there is a ball that blocks you, gets away from you a little bit. So you're trying to block it with your body as well as using your glove.
Howard Paulette is going to show us the fundamentals of pitching. There's a real good shot of Howard Paulette because in the National League, during his career, he was known as a picture pitcher. Just perfect form. You know, the real mark of a champion among the pitchers is a 20-game winner. This stylish left-hander did it twice. In 1946, which was a great year in Cardinal history, this fellow won 21 ball games in leading the Cardinals to a National League pennant and a World Championship in beating the Red Sox. Still maintaining that great form and condition, which as a pitching coach has become so valuable in teaching the young pitchers. Because not only in telling them, but in showing them just how you do it. You can see right now the basic fundamentals. Keep your eye on the target, push off, and follow through. There's the form that won 20 ball games or more in the National League. Howard, I see you down the bullpen right now with some young pitchers. What do you have to tell a young pitcher? What do you try to tell a young pitcher in spring training to get him ready for a big league season?
Here we are attempting to teach the young pitchers the spin or the proper rotation of a curveball, Joe. Follow through, spin on the ball. You want the ball to spin over as fast and as completely as you can.
The emphasis.
Notice my hands in close to the body. Never stop to follow through.
You answered my question before I asked it. It's the hands and the wrist, huh?
Exactly.
What is that, Howard?
I'm showing the movement of the hand as it goes through the pitch of the curved ball. This is the proper way to follow through. Watch my head, steady, follow through. My feet are even.
Something's bothering me, Howard. I see your fingers out of the glove. Is that part of pitching, or?
No, that's a bad habit I got into several years ago, Joe, when a line drive hit my glove and bruised my finger. And since that time, I got into the habit of taking my finger out of the glove. It's certainly not a good example for young pitchers to follow. Now, this is the improper way. This pitcher shows you that he's tense, he's not relaxed. He's kicking too high, he has lost body control, and does not follow through properly. Here's a picture of a left-handed pitcher holding a runner on first. Comes set, kicks, complete body control, follows right through. Notice the arm movement, went all the way through. He was ready to field his position. So once he starts his wind-up, he keeps his head on his target, knowing exactly where he wants to throw the ball. Follows right on through.
Notice you walked away, too, Howard. Once you tell a pitcher to do something, they just go on their own.
Yes, Joe, after we tell them, we expect them to absorb a certain amount, but we must keep repeating each day through spring training the essential fundamentals of pitching. This pitcher completely stopped his follow-through. His body was not in position. His body was locked.
See, his arm, his glove was way behind his back. He'd never got a line drive.
There's a pitcher taking his eye off the target and then picking it up at the last second.
When the position of shortstop is discussed, there's always one name that's up, that of Mr. Shortstop, Marty Marion. How to play shortstop by Marty Marion, Mr. Shortstop.
Joe, we're going to try to teach these boys how to play shortstop in these few short films here. There are a lot of wrong ways and right ways to play shortstop, and I've never seen a good ball club that didn't have a good shortstop that ever was a contender. This young fella does a number of things right and does a number of things wrong. Now, here we're teaching him to come in, field the ball, take a little hop, skip, and throw, and his peg on the way to first base. Now, I'm teaching him this point here, not to throw the ball sidearm from a shortstop position, especially in the hole towards third base. If you do this, I'm showing him that the ball will tail off and make a lot of bad throws to first base. Now, pick up the ball, bring your arm back, bring it in close to your body, and then guide it with your arm and body into first base. Now, he's picking up the ball, he's taking a little hop, skip, and throw, and the ball is on the first base. And notice how he kept his arm close to him. Look at him. He's got it, I believe, Joe. Look how, with a big smile on his face. He knows what he's done wrong, and now he's got it. He's all happy. It's very simple. Just remind yourself to keep the ball always close to your body and guide the ball, and almost like you're shooting at a target. Here I'm moving in the long position at third base with the same motion. Pick the ball up, and with a little hop, skip, and throw, the ball will be on its way to first base, and you can control your body and you throw a lot better. Very simple. It's something you shortstops should learn to do from the very word go. Here the young fellow moves to his right, picks up the ball, takes a hop, skip, and throw, and is on the way to first base. This is a play going towards second base, picks the ball up, and as you notice, he stopped and is delivered to the second baseman. Now we'll show him how to pick the ball up and take a running motion towards second base before he lets the ball go. In picking the ball up and moving towards second base for the double play, if you'll find that you'll pick the ball up, and as you move towards second base, your body is under better control, then flip the ball to second base, because there's one thing you do not want to do. Do not fool your second baseman. He's on your side. Show the ball to him at all times and make it very simple for him. Very nice. Here he goes. He picks up the ball. A beautiful play to second base. This is not the proper way to do it, but on certain plays over the bag, you must do it this way. Primarily, you should always get the ball out of your glove hand and throw it with your meat hand to the second baseman, if possible. I am showing him in this position, always keep the ball way out in front of you. Never feel the ball back of you. Never feel the ball between your legs, like I'm showing you in this position. Let the ball play you, get the ball out in front of you at all times. Get your body real low, and you'll be a very, very fine fielder.
Stan Musial in right and the wrong in batting. What greater ball player could you get than Stan the Man Musial? The ball player who actually has rewritten the record books. All you have to do is pick up any record book and you'll see this fellow's name among doubles, triples, home runs, total bases, and base hits. His lifetime batting average will be well over 300. You know, having been fortunate enough to have been a teammate of Musial's, you look at a ball player in kind of a different way. Now, well over 300, that's quite a lifetime batting average. That means greatness. But that means that for every 10 times at bat, he was successful 3 out of 10. You know what I look at? That means that he had to have the ability to come back. Because though he was successful 3 out of 10, that means that he failed twice as many times as he was successful. What a tremendous lesson for all of us. To keep coming back, to keep coming back, and coming back. The sign of greatness is to be able to get off that floor and come back. Stan Musial. These films that you're about to see are really the only films ever taken of Musial on the base. And here's a basic thing, I'm sure. Stan, that's got to be the strike zone you're talking about.
That's right, Joe. It's very important for a hitter to know the strike zone. You can't swing at too many low balls, and you can't swing at too many high bad balls. You must swing at strikes to be a good, consistent hitter. Knowing the strike zone, having a good level swing, and the eyes on the ball are very important. Don't overstride, because when you overstride, you lose your balance, and you're lunging at the ball. So don't overstride, and take a good normal stride and a good level swing, and just try to meet the ball. Just have a good, comfortable stance at the plate, and don't try to copy anybody. I think the youngsters should be themselves, and what they can do, I can't do, and what I probably could do, why they couldn't. So don't overstride, and just swing at strikes, and don't try to copy anybody.
Man, that sure sounds easy when a fellow like this is talking about it, huh?
Joe, the bat should be still, and when the bat is still, you know where it is at all times, and keep your eye on the ball and turn your head so that your eyes are looking right at the pitcher. Your eyes are on the ball, swinging the strikes and taking a good, natural swing. And keep your eye on the ball at all times, even when it hits the bat.
You actually see that ball hit the bat, huh?
Many times, Joe, you do.
See your shoulders dipping a little bit. That's the way to become a pop-up hitter, huh?
Well, that's right, Joe. You're very uncomfortable that way, and your shoulders and eyes should be level, and your swing should be level. If your left shoulder is down, you're swinging up. And if your right shoulder is down, you're swinging down. So you can't hit consistent that way. You're swinging up at a ball and generally popping the ball up.
Here is Musial in batting practice, actual batting practice conditions. Watch the intense concentration. There's the eyes on the ball, head turned toward the pitcher. Bat still, perfect follow-through, eyes on the ball, and there she goes. No doubt, another base hit by stand-man Musial. This is baseball. Baseball seen by many, many baseball fans every day, reenacted sometimes twice on Sunday. Baseball, truly the great American game. The great American game because it represents race, creed, and color. The only race in baseball to first base. The only creed, the rule book. The only color, the uniform. White for the home team, gray for the visiting team. Truly the great American game, baseball. He struck him out. There it is, the end of the ball game. Another victory as the catcher shakes hands with the victorious pitcher. And this is the game that everybody sees. The game you'll read about, the game you'll hear about. But the game that nobody sees is the one that you saw start in spring training. Truly a lot of hard work, a lot of practice. The game you never see.